Hello, lovies. Thanks for joining me this week. If you've been cluing into the last few podcasts, we've been talking about self esteem. We've been talking about permission versus support. And we want to continue a bit on this theme. And yet, first, I want to remind everyone that I do a free tea time twice a month. And these are wonderful opportunities to come and just sit with me and some of the other Pure Joy coaches. We do them on Zoom. And you get to get in the hot seat if you'd like to. And I'm going to move that furniture around in your brain if you come and share some of these Pure Joy pillars that I'm sharing in the podcast and what they look like in your day-to-day parenting, right? What does that look like? Now, as I say, I do them on a Tuesday in January. I'm trying to look at my little calendar here as we're talking. I think my first one is January the 6th. It's on a Thursday. And that one is in the morning at 10 a.m. I do that for my European folks in North America. And then in 2 weeks after that, on January, my calendar's not showing up on January the 18th, I do one at 2 p.m. for my Australia, that part of the world folks, so they can get up. But also Europe can kind of hang in there also and show up. It's really hard, as most of you know, to get all these time zones. And I have people all over the world that listen. So if you're interested in the tea time, just make sure you go to purejoyparenting.com and get on my email list. You'll also get the Safe Seat if you don't have that already. It's a 5-day wonderful little video series I teach on the Safe Seat, which is the foundational practice in Pure Joy. So come on over and join the free tea times. Also got a new Pure Joy parent coach training starting probably April or May. So you can find out about that on the website also. So let's keep diving deeper and deeper into this self-esteem piece. What I found in my parenting was that I read countless parenting books. I was on the internet. I was searching things because the traditional way was not working in my home with my daughter. She wasn't behaving the way I thought she should. I was treating her well and offering things, and I experienced a lot of defiance and a lot of anger, and it was pretty shocking to me because it's just me and my daughter. I adopted her on my own, and I had worked really hard with my plan, my parenting plan, and I really thought it was going to work. I mean, I had thought it through. I had studied. I had done so much work. I was not going to be my mom. That was the big one. And it was backfiring. And I just got miffed. I didn't know what to do. And I was the one that was really, really volatile. And it was so shocking for me. I had a rageaholic mom, and I swore that I was not going to rage, as a parent. And yet I found myself feeling so enraged so often. And I know many of the parents that I sit with have this same experience. So as I dug deep down into that experience, because I was pretty clear that my 4-year-old wasn't more powerful than I was, but that's how it felt. I felt like I was being held hostage. All of those things that I hear from so many people. I felt like I was walking on eggshells. I mean, my 4-year-old, I had pretty much given her most of the power in our relationship. So a lot of my work came to retaking my empowerment because I was terrified of having power over, because that's how I had been parented. And so instead of empowering myself to trust my own wisdom, that self-esteem we talked about last week, I was giving in. So I gave her all the power. And let me tell you, she powered over because she was going to take that role, because it wasn't safe in the home to have a mom that wasn't empowered, that kept giving her like, well, what do you want? Well, what do you want to do? Is that okay with you? Well, would you be willing to? And all of these things felt so kind to me. I wanted to give her a chance to say no and all of these things, but you can hear my voice. I was doing it from such a wimpy place. I was doing it from this insecurity, from a lack of self esteem in my own empowerment. And so my daughter and I were very enmeshed. I don't know if you know that word, but it's kind of like we were hooked together. And all of my actions were dependent on her being the power person. So it took a lot of time for me because I became enraged. And then I started recognizing where her rage came from. It was the rage of having someone, taking over, someone engulfing you with their needs. And because I really needed my daughter to be that great child that did everything I asked so that my self esteem can feel good about myself. And yet, all of that backfired, thankfully. And I'm going to tell you that right now. Thankfully, thankfully, thankfully. And if you come and hang out with Pure Joy, you will find why we say thank you, so that I could turn back in, so that you can turn back in, and I could find the true core of my pure joy, and therefore come alongside my daughter, supporting her and living into hers. Thank you for listening to this episode of Parenting Paused. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and share it with your mama friends. You can also leave a review wherever you listen, which will support getting the Pure Joy message out. Come on over to the Pure Joy Parenting Practice Facebook page or join me on Instagram to hear more. And don't forget to download your free copy of the Safe Seat course on the Pure Joy website. And while there, check out the offerings page to go deeper in the Pure Joy work.